Okay, hi Miss Betsy, I've got Ken Fast with me and he's gonna give you the highlights from the home inspection report.
Good morning. So, big picture before we start, everything is in decent working order and everything is working as expected. There are a couple of areas that need a little conversation, but we'll talk about those. We'll talk about systems first. Electrically, this is still modern even though it was built in the 80s. So it's copper wire, it's grounded, it's got a modern breaker panel. So all of that looked good. The outlets work. A couple things you may want to improve. Ceiling fans work throughout the house, but some of them are a little noisy. They wobble a little bit, but they're not terrible, but they all still work. But other than that, electrically, pretty straightforward, doing what I expected to do. Plumbing wise, things were flowing and draining. We have modern piping in this unit. The water heater is a 2012. Let me double check on that, but I think it's 2012. So that is getting a little bit of age to it. It is functioning, yeah, 2012, so it is now 14 years old. So it's functioning, doing its thing, but we are getting some age to it. There are a couple of leaks underneath sinks. The kitchen faucet leaks badly, and it puts a lot of water down in the cabinet, so that one needs correction. And then in what I call the guest bedroom, that has a little drip leak underneath the sink into the cabinet. Nowhere near as big as the one in the kitchen, but both of those are leaks that need to be taken care of. One of the sinks I think had a little bit of a slow drain, so that just needs to be kind of cleared out. But other than that, we've got, like in the bathroom, some older fixtures, but they're functioning, doing their thing. Heating and cooling. This unit is working as expected. It's an all-electric heat pump. There's an outside unit that I believe is on the roof. So that'll be an interesting thing for Mr. Heating and Air to get to. The air handler, which is the piece on the inside here in the closet of the dining room, that one is getting some age to it. It is a 2002, so it is 24 years old. So that guy is getting some age to it, but it is functioning and it was working normally. So it's always a good idea to ask about service history. Did they have to put a lot of money into this to keep it going? Have they had a spring tune-up yet? Those kind of questions. But this one is usually with condominium properties where you have other units adjacent and above or below, you are much better insulated than you would be with a standard single family home. So these heating and air units don't have to work as hard. And so that's one of the reasons why they last longer than otherwise. Inside, doors are working, windows are working. We're standing here in the sunroom. The glass here in the sunroom, this has been here quite a while. It is a single pane, so it's not a really efficient glass. And there are some panels, especially at the far end, that the sealant around the outside is coming apart, so the window glass is loose. And so there's really the outside needs to be kind of renewed on this glass. So number one, that it's secure and isn't all floppy, but then also that it minimizes leakage and that type of thing. But from a window door standpoint, the window in the guest bedroom is an older window, but it is insulated glass. And then the sliding doors that come out to the sunroom are all newer vinyl insulated sliding glass doors. So those are much newer. From a moisture standpoint, with a moisture meter, I didn't pick up any elevated moisture along the front of the guest room or in these odd areas, in different areas of the unit. However, there is evidence that there has been some leakage. One spot is in the closet that's here in the sunroom.
It's like the utility closet, yeah.
And in the front corner, there is some moldy looking growth there. And I would say that it has to do with something leaking from the unit above. You know, it's kind of covered, but you can still get blowing rain getting into a spot. And they've got standard drywall in there. So an area that tends to be enclosed and not a lot of airflow, plus a periodic potential for something that would seep in from the top. I think I would rather pull out the drywall, number one, to get the moldy stuff out of there, but number two, put something else in there that is less conducive to mold growth or better suited for a potentially humid, periodically moist spot.
What would an example of that be?
You know, I would think about maybe some composite type of paneling that you might see in a, you know, kind of a cheap renovation in a bathroom, you know, something like that, that is more on the line of plastic.
Sure.
Or
vinyl or
something like that. Or they do make some cement type of drywall that they use in bathrooms below tile. And that is a possibility as well, depending on what you want to do with that space. The only other place that looks like there was evidence that something got wet over time is in the laundry closet behind the water heater. Couldn't reach all the way in there, but what I could, it was dry, and I'm kind of guessing it was from the previous water heater had a problem, and it took them a while before somebody found that out, and they really didn't paint and clean back behind the water heater, so the baseboard's kind of messed up. There's a little bit of drywall damage.
But it didn't appear to be active.
Not, what I could reach was not, but it can be reached, but you're gonna have to pull out the laundry equipment and then kind of reach up in there. Yeah. So my thought is, prior to moving in, maybe pull out that laundry equipment, clean all of that up, just number one, so it looks right, but then also it gives you a much better visual indicator if something else was to happen there.
Yeah.
If you ever had a leak or whatever, and you look there and say, well, it looks the same as it always has, I don't know.
Right.
But if it looked right, then you would know. So that would be a good area to look at that. Appliances, most of them are relatively new. And so washer and dryer, microwave, range, those look pretty new. And dishwasher did its thing, refrigerator did its thing. One final thought is this house does have a fireplace. It's got a ventless gas log installed in an originally vented fireplace, which is a typical thing. That is the only natural gas fired device in this unit. The gas meters are on the left end of the building, and as is typical, they never label gas meters. They never do. And so I don't know which one is yours, but there are two of them that are physically turned off. One's locked out, one's turned off. My guess is this unit is turned off, so I could not test the gas logs as far as their operation. Just kind of a thing to keep in mind. If you want to have gas logs, then you would need to have the gas service turned on, but there is a minimum monthly fee for gas even if you don't use it. And
like $20, $30, isn't it?
Something like that.
Crazy.
So it's not hundreds of dollars, but it's tens of dollars every month, even whether you use it or not. And so a lot of people say, well, I don't use the gas logs enough to bother with that. But other people say, well, it's very important that I have that running. And if you do, then that's something that would be to be considered. So, long story short, I think we are in nice shape, very, very livable condition. A few items to consider improving, and there's always room for improvement on anything, especially things that have a little bit of age to them. But My report will go out a little bit later today. At the beginning is a summary. The summary are meant to be action items. None of these are, wow, scare me, big things. They're more handyman related, really. And so those type of items, it would be best if they were taken care of sooner than later, but obviously the previous people lived with them, so everybody has a different expectation or tolerance for things that are not quite right. So wherever you need to be, then this is a good starting point. But you'll also get 360 pictures of the entire place. You'll get a floor plan. You'll get some appliance, further data on them, and they will flag any of the appliances if they happen to be recalled. But all of that stuff goes out to you a little bit later today. But it's about as far as my memory's taking me. So hopefully when you look at the report, this will make a little bit of sense. And if it doesn't, feel free, give me a shout, give me a call. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. Thank you.
Ken, thanks so much. Miss Betsy, I'll get with you real soon and we'll discuss all this and talk strategy. Thank you and talk to you soon.